Hello, welcome to the Key Hire Solutions podcast for human capital for small businesses. My name is Corey Harlock. I am the principal creator of Key Hire Solutions. Welcome, thank you for joining us. A lot of people ask me, what the heck is Key Hire? What is human capital? To put it really simply, we really do three things. We help small businesses between $5 million and $15 million. On the smallest work we do is upgrade leadership roles. In the middle, 60% of the work we do is developing new roles, leadership roles within a company, and acquiring the talent to fill them. And then on the broad spectrum, we do complete human capital planning. So current state, we're at $5 million. We want to get to 20. Here's what we need to look. Here's what we look like today. Here's what we need to look like at 20 million. We put together that action plan for you. How do we get there? And then we go out and execute on the plan. So brings us to our next topic. And by the way, while I remember this, as we're going through this, if anyone out there has any questions they would like to ask, please drop them in the comment box and we'll get to them after we speak with our guest today. Our guest is Joey Schlaffer. We worked with Joey over a year ago. We had worked with Russell at Marco Steel to develop and acquire a sales leader for him. He hadn't had a lot of success in the past and was kind of doing double duty, trying to run the team, run the business. There was a little stress and pressure there. We were in the middle of a pandemic. So we kind of pieced everything together and we were able to get into the market and find Joey to join this team. He's had a great deal of success, but what I really want to talk with him about, and I'm excited to talk to Joey about today, is how he was able to influence the business, affect Russell and his team, and improve the business. So let's bring him on here. Matt, can we bring on Joey? There he is. Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to have you. So, you've been Marco Steel. You've been there for about a year now. Give us the highlights.
June 1 will be 12 months. Been really successful. Happy here, doing great things. We've doubled the size of the sales team in the less than 12 months, coming up on 12 months, and have projected, hopefully, fingers crossed, somewhere between 20 and 25% year over growth for us. That would be really, really fantastic, and a next building block to sort of keep growing from there. So, have really, really enjoyed my time.
So cool. It's always so good to hear, and it's always good to reconnect with people we've worked with and the businesses we've worked with, and I'm happy to hear you're doing so well. Maddie, what's our first question? There we go. So, we always talk about this ownership mindset, right? Sometimes owners, and what we've discovered through these conversations, is it takes a lot of humility from an owner to kind of get out of the way and let someone who's coming in with a wealth of experience, sometimes more experience and knowledge on the role than they might have themselves. They have to really back off and let people execute. So, in the past, what are some of the things that you've experienced prior to Marco that have kind of limited your ability to be successful or scale a business?
One of the big things,
Right.
No, and one of the big things, and one of the things you learn from, or I've learned from, is, you deal with an owner or a leader who's successful. They've built a successful company. They have a reason to have you, and they have a particular way they've done things to reach that state. And I come in, or someone else may come in that has a different skill set or different experiences that could maybe grow or expand or build there, and they push back on, that's not how we've done it, or we're not comfortable with that, or maybe that's not a project that's in line with what we've historically done. And so instead of getting frustrated and sort of like, you brought me in here for a reason, and banging my head against the wall and sort of pushing harder, taking that project and maybe scaling it back to a smaller size or to a different scale to then show where that win can be had and the profitability of it and why it's beneficial. And then going, okay, this is my $5 win. Now I'm looking for my $10, $15, $20 win, instead of coming out of the gate and trying to get $1 million win right off the bat. Because look, you come in, you want to prove that you have value and that your cost is worthwhile and what you're doing is beneficial. But to just try and hammer someone on something that's completely new or different isn't going to get you where you want to go. You have to earn that time and space and ability to do what they need from you. So, it's not that they don't want you to do what they've hired you for, but they're just going to have to be brought into the circle of trust, if you will, on what you're trying to accomplish.
And that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Do you think sometimes it's just a trust issue?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 100% a trust issue, and it is you're new, it might be different, and human beings dislike change at all levels, in all places, in all ways.
Yeah.
And so trying to affect change and expecting someone to just jump on board with your change, even if they've hired you, right? Even though they brought you in to bring in change is still scary. And so that's the challenge. And
I talk a lot of times about that owner mindset. Sometimes they have you found in the past that some owners can be addicted to the chaos, right? And what I say is they're not addicted to the quality and the on-time delivery of their product. They're more addicted to how hard it is to produce the product, because that justifies the price they charge, right? So if you make it too easy, they go, well, hold on, where's the value, right? Because it's too easy now.
And one of the other things is, it can affect the team in that, well, if it's easier or smoother or more efficient, do we need as many team members, or do we need to continue running the business the same way we are? And, I've worked places that have, multiple locations, hundreds of employees. And what ends up happening is, yes, you could become more efficient, and then you can have other jobs for those employees to help you get even bigger and grow further and do more. But if you're concerned that, player A always does this, and if we make it where that isn't something he has to do anymore, what do we do with them? Well, there's other work. We're going to sell more. We're going to do more. There's something more coming for him. Just hang on. We'll get there.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Matt, what do we have next year? So what are some of the biggest mistakes business owners can make when they hire a sales manager and they want to grow their sales organization?
I think one of the biggest problems, and all people, even I as a hiring manager, run into it, is you look for a person that either has, you're looking for someone that looks like, sounds like, dresses like, behaves like, is this cookie cutter of what you expect that role to have and to be. And people aren't cookie cutter. Like, people are all different and come in different shapes and sizes and interactions, and being able to not get married to an ideal. What I keep tell myself is, you don't want to be the 50-year-old who's still single that's dated hundreds of women that have all had one small problem or one issue.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, how am I still single? Why didn't this work out? It's like, well, you disqualified a bunch of people off of one inconsequential thing, where you could have had, someone who comes in and brings real value to your organization and really helps build what you're doing, but you didn't give them a chance because I expected this person to have this background or this experience or have this, relationships in place for me type of deal. And that just really, really, really can limit your ability to grow and find really powerful talent for your organization.
Yeah, I agree. And something I've found, and I'd be interested on your thoughts on the topic, but oftentimes when people look to hire, especially in sales, they'll look like to their competitor. If we could just get that person. And the problem is, if I have a $10 million a year business and my competitor does $10 million and I bring in a new sales manager and you say, hey, how's that new salesperson doing? They're doing amazing. What are your sales? $10 million. Because the individual only knows how to do $10 million, right? And that's why it's important to hire for capacity. But in doing that, you kind of sometimes put yourself in that situation where you're like, well, these are ideas we've never seen before, or they come from such a big operation, they don't understand how we do business, and you kind of get into those conversations.
And I always feel like, especially for sales is sales. And if you have the ability, especially with what we do in the metal market, to come in and learn and grow with what our products are and what their applications are and what they're for, if you're good at building the relationships and creating the rapport and doing that type of work, the technical stuff will come behind. So I don't have to have someone that maybe has specific steel experience. If I know that they have the ability to learn the products, to put in the time and the effort, have the work ethic to grow, then I'm really just looking more for a mindset and a personality to interact with our customer base at that point. And that's really the key there.
And I think what allows you to do that is you guys just have a quality, you guys produce quality products too, right? And so it's easier to sell. What do we have next? So Russell is the owner of Marco Steel. When we brought you in there, he had a process in place, and how long has his business been around? It's been a long time.
30 years of success.
Yeah, and I mean, and him and his wife rock it out there every day, and they work hard. And I know one of the reasons for he and I working together was to find someone who could let him sleep at night, let him get some days off, grow his business, right? So what has, just to backtrack, we talk about sometimes the small business owners have to have the humility and like you said, the trust to bring in talent and then say, do what you do.
Right.
So what has Russell done and the team at Marco? What have they done that has really allowed you to go out and influence the business? I mean, I think you said it off the top. You're 20%. You're up 20% this year.
Right.
That's meaningful, right? It doesn't matter what the revenue is. That's a meaningful number. So they've obviously done something. They didn't say, here's our program, just run it better than we do. What have they done?
What they did is they did a good job of showing, yes, they have a program and they have a system that has been efficient and been effective. They also have a mission goal and sort of the parameters of sort of the field of operation, the parameters of where we want to go, what we're trying to accomplish, but then created an environment where comfortable to try new things, try different marketing or different sales strategies without fear of failure, which I think is a hard thing in our day and age. Is everyone wants to come in and only win, when that's just not realistic. It's not something that's going to happen. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be things that didn't work out. There's going to be things that we expected to go one direction and then get into it. And it's like, well, that's not working the way we thought it was going to. And then being able to pull it back, have a sit down, an after action meeting, if you will, and go, hey, this didn't work out the way we'd hoped. It wasn't as beneficial as we thought it was going to be, whatever. And then change direction, change tack, and keep going without an immediate fear of, pulling the reins all the way back or cutting off the ability to go try new things, or the desire to keep growing and, getting scared of, the fear of wanting to protect the castle more than wanting to conquer. It's something that people can get tied up with. And at this point, we're not just protecting the castle. We're here to go out and conquer and try and take new business and get into new markets. And that mindset and living in that mindset is really beneficial.
That's very cool. That's that whole fail fast mindset, right? Try it, fail fast. Don't just keep doing it and keep failing and keep, throwing good money after bad because you think it's going to work. Try it, discuss it, figure it out. Are we going to go forward or not?
Because it may be failing, not because it's a bad idea, but because of a piece of the execution was off, or because a piece of what you expected to react one way. I'm a big fan of Jocko Willenick and I've given all of my team the, extreme ownership, and it's part of what we do around here at this point. And part of that is that, we're going to look at it, we're going to try and move it forward. And if it's not working, we're going to look at why it's not, and we're going to try and figure out a way to either, get back in the fight. But, as I always say, the enemy has a say in this, right? So you may do something thinking you're going to take a bunch of market share, and competition may have a different idea, and there's nothing you can do about it but learn, grow, evolve, and keep moving.
Awesome. I'm going to throw a curveball at you. So I know business owners out there that are getting or thinking about building a sales team or hiring a sales leader. What's the one thing a business owner should be looking for or looking to do when they're trying to build a sales organization to scale? And this isn't Marco related. This is professional sales leader talking to people who want to know, how do you make the sausage?
I'm a firm believer in the mindset. You have to find someone who is positively motivated to get people involved, because doing sales is cool. This is a fun job, getting to make relationships, selling, putting product into people's facilities so they can do what they do. It's fun work. It's exciting work. It has, this mindset of, we were talking before this started to bring everybody back in about busy, right? The idea of busy.
Yeah, that's right. It was the first thing you said. Yeah.
I hate busy. I hate the idea of it. And so it's a mindset. It's an attitude about what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish that is going to then infiltrate down to the rest of the team. I don't need people that are exactly like me, that do exactly what I do and how I do it. What I need is people that have a similar mindset. We're going to go out and we're going to be successful because we're going to do the best we can do. And when things go sideways, we're not going to melt into a puddle. We're not going to freak out. We're not going to, immediately hit the panic button. We're going to find a solution. We're going to present those solutions. We're going to move the project forward and keep going. And that, if you're trying to build a sales team, is the key, is that you have to have a leader at the top that has a mindset that is in line with ownership and that can then transfer that down. And if your mindset is one and you get someone in there that is completely opposite of you, you're probably not going to end up having ultimate success because there's too much of an adversarial mindset there. You need someone that's looking to grow in the same ways and build in the same ways.
How important are complementary skills, or, I don't want to use the word mindset, but attitudes, right? So you might not be too oriented in one direction, but hiring someone who has that vision so you can see the whole picture.
And I don't ever hire or want someone that's a yes person for me. Like if I put out an idea of, hey, I'm thinking that we should try this. What's the room think on that? What's the team's ideas on how we can try and accomplish that? And if all I ever get back from everybody is, hey, that's a great idea, boss. That's exactly what we should do. But that doesn't work. I need the input from the other people that are out there. And I think leaders and owners should look for the same thing from their sales leaders. In that if you come into my office and tell me, hey, I really think we should do X, and I'm not positive that's the best idea, I'm going to at least ask questions. Why do we think that's the direction? Have we thought about the things that are this or this or this that might cause a problem? And if you've come across all those and you have all those, your thoughts in line, okay, you might win me over. We might move that direction, but it doesn't have to just be an immediate, orders and off we march. And, there needs to be an understanding of why we're trying to accomplish it, how we're going to get there, and what the end goal is of the mission here. There has to be a further goal than just sort of, we want to get out in front and talk to our customers right now.
Very cool.
What's the point?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hey man, give us a plug on Marco Steel. Let us know what you do, what you're up to.
So we're South Houston, just by Hobby Airport. Marco Specialty Steel, 30 years in business. We're focused on bar grading, expanded metal, wire mesh, perforated metals. Have a new Trump punch machine to punch specialty metal or special patterns. And we are here to sort of service the marketplace for architectural, refineries, petrochemical, all of those marketplaces. We're sort of, I always say the best part about us is we can sell to everybody. The hardest part about what we have is we can sell it to everybody. So finding those right customers, building those good relationships, that's always our challenge. But we're really having a good time right here.
It's awesome. You guys do awesome work. It's been so good to catch up with you again. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Corey. I really appreciate it.
And me too. We'll talk soon. Maddie, let's let them know what we have going on here. So I talked about a hiring resource. So we have a consultation there, but we also have, do we have a banner for the hiring guide? Download our free ebook. And that's the ebook. It is called Hiring in the Key of C. And to be totally honest with you, that is our proprietary process. And this ebook will give you step by step exactly how to build an engagement process to engage candidates, an interview process, and a hiring process. They're all different. They all need to be built out separately. And I think right now, Matt, if you order that, we're throwing in the live presentation that we did, right? And you also get a free consultation with that. So we'll kind of send you a note to say, hey, when you're done reading this ebook, hit this button and you can talk to us and we can answer any questions you might have on that. We also have a YouTube channel where this is going to be going up. We have our LinkedIn page. There's our YouTube channel. We have our LinkedIn Key Hire Solutions page. Follow us on LinkedIn. This is where we put up all of our information and keep everyone up to speed with what we're doing. Did I miss anything, Matt? And if you want that ebook, go to the website, and when you scroll down, there's a button there that says download our ebook. Yeah, there it is. Go to keyhire.solutions and click the button that says download our ebook. Other than that, I think we're good. I want to thank Joey again. That was incredible. I knew when I met him, he was a true pro, and he has proven me right for a year now, which is awesome. I appreciate that. So we will see you in 2 Wednesdays from now. Stop struggling, start scaling. Thank you, guys. Talk soon.